fashion is something that has always been deeply in me. It just really is just a natural sense of style. Don't want to toot my own horn, but toot toot, beep beep. You see the dress, very frumpy, just styled the dress. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is 10 or 10 Talks. Here on my channel, we talk about all things faith, in Christ, of course, beauty, fashion, and life in general. So if any of that sounds good to you, join us and let's chat. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics next to the big guy himself and next to the Almighty. And when I say next to, literally, I don't mean literally. I just really enjoy this topic, and that's going to be fashion. I seriously enjoy fashion so much. It's one of those outlets for me, in addition to my faith and just other points of interest in my life. But fashion is something that has always been deeply in me. I didn't realize how much, but I really expressed myself through fashion, hence why I have incorporated it into my channel, because I believe I can be really helpful here also. For me, it's very innate, and it just naturally comes to me in how to put outfits and things together, colors, textures, silhouettes, styling for different body types, and all of that. It just has always been an innate thing in me, and it's been something that I've enjoyed since I was younger, but I didn't know how to quite pinpoint what that was. And it just really is just a natural sense of style. Don't want to toot my own horn, but toot toot, beep beep. Today's particular topic is going to be about wearing versus styling. So if you've seen any of my shorts recently, I've done a few shorts on fashion where I get dressed for church on Sundays. And the intent behind those is to show, one, what I would wear to church on Sunday or do wear to church on Sundays, and to give more of an idea to others of how they could get dressed for Sundays if they don't necessarily know how they can keep it modest, classy, but still look really fly. What I've really been trying to show is how I could be wearing something, but it's just basic. It's how it was bought, just that piece alone, versus how I have styled it. To wear something and to style something are definitely two different concepts that I don't think people really think about when it comes into fashion and putting together outfits, because you can put on a two-piece set and wear that two-piece set just as it is and just as it's come, or you can zhuzh it up a little bit, add accessories, and then style it in your own personal way. The Merriam-Webster definition of wearing, to wear something, is to bear or have on the person. So simply just to put it on. That is wearing. The Merriam-Webster definition of styling something, to style something, is a particular manner or technique by which something is done, created, or performed. So you see how there are differences there just in the definition. It's very telling as to how they differ from one another. I'm not a big fan of buying outfits off the mannequin. And if I'm going to buy an outfit off the mannequin, or nowadays when you're online shopping, you see the model wearing the outfit a certain type of way and you buy it to wear it exactly like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think to ensure longevity and that you get cost per wear out of the pieces that you're buying, you have to find ways to style your items. You can't simply just wear them. So when it comes to things that I'm buying, in consideration of styling things, I look at particular things. Can it be layered? Can it be accessorized? Can I put something over it, layering, under it, layering? More times than less, the main thing that you're going to be doing is layering. So I think about that. What other silhouettes will go with that particular outfit? Am I going to wear this more tighter top with something looser on the bottom, or am I going to do loose on loose? I know that typically people don't do the loose on loose. It just depends, but looking at proportions of certain things will also help you to kind of think about how you're going to style certain things. You also have to weigh and factor in your body type and how things are going to fit, but these are just things I'll think about. So for instance, this outfit that I have up here right now, you see the dress, very frumpy. An initial thought when you see it, you wouldn't pick up this piece, right? But for me, I thought about the fact that I could layer it. I knew that I could put things underneath it. I knew that it was oversized, definitely not my size, but I knew that I can cinch it in with a belt. And I knew that I could just wear it a variety of different ways that would fit my particular style. So here you see that I've put a button up underneath it. You see that I have put a belt at the waist, and then I've paired it with some boots to bring this simple, very plain Jane, very like a sack type of, it has no real shape to the dress, but you see how it came together with the way I layered and cinched and just styled the dress. So this is just one example of how you can style something. Another example I have up here, which isn't quite as layered in terms of adding a belt, but I'm simply just adding a cropped denim jacket to the look, and it already gives the dress some pizzazz. Throwing on a pair of shoes that have a little sparkle to them, that also adds more of my personal style to the overall outfit, makes the dress look less plain. So when you see it all together, it actually looks better than it really is, as opposed to if I was to have just worn that dress alone and some really plain black flats, even though that would have worked also. But for me, I'm always going to add a little something. And then I added this purse that gives even more of that personalized style that just helps elevate the look altogether, that you can look at it and be like, oh, I really like her style, because that is her style. It wasn't bought off the mannequin. Yes, it's something that someone can replicate, but you can tell by looking at it that this was my style. This next example, we're wearing actually this top I'm wearing today. The top itself, cute top, statement top for sure, but it doesn't also give me much of a shape. So when I paired it with these jeans that I could tuck it into that are high waisted, it brought back my shape with the cinched waist. And then adding these silver shoes also added an additional pop to the outfit that, again, when you're looking at it, it's very clear that that is my style. It's not plain. The top isn't wearing me, I'm wearing the top, and I've added it to my style as opposed to just putting it on. These are just three different examples of how I would style something that was one way, where maybe someone would look at it and not necessarily know how they could put it together. But that's where thinking about shape, silhouette, where your curves are, what you want to accentuate, what you want to draw more attention to in terms of the top, or if you want to draw more attention to the shoes or the purse, how you want to bring it all together. For some, these may be very drastic examples in terms of a shirt like this. Maybe not everyone is going to pick up a shirt with this bold color and the print and the texture and everything like that. For me, I don't mind. I love statement pieces. They work for me as a part of my personal style. And I also don't mind dressing up frumpy dresses to look as good as they did. So someone else might look at that and be like, that's a bit much. For me, it works. For someone else, it may not work. The point is to not simply just wear outfits, but allow your personal style to come into those outfits with how you're pairing your things, your clothing items and clothing pieces together. Wrapping this all up, you need to figure out your personal style. I want to do a more detailed video on how to figure out your personal style. I just wanted to touch on the difference between wearing versus styling, because a lot of times, especially now, because everybody loves a two-piece set. And don't get me wrong, I love me a two-piece set, but even then with a two-piece set, I'm still going to style it according to my personal style. But I think to understand your true style, you can't go based all the time on what the mannequin has on or what the model has on the website or how someone else is dressing. You have to learn how to actually style items together, making them work together. And I think the main ways to do that is to learn how to accessorize, to learn how to put pieces together for your particular body and your shape, to learn how to layer. Layering is a key component. Like layering is so important because that's how you create depth and dimension in your outfits, and make them look as good as they end up looking. And I know that layering, people only really think about it in the fall and in the winter times, but you absolutely can layer in the summertime also. Adding a belt to something is actually considered layering, and it's something that you can do year round. So just keep that in mind. And then things like your hair and your nails, things like that, I would even add to an overall look and consider that part of the style too, part of wearing versus styling too. When you think of fashion and dressing up in this way, in terms of wearing versus styling, I also feel like it will help prevent people from going out and over consuming pieces and items, because it makes you work with what you've got in your wardrobe, in your closet, and makes you put pieces together that you never would have thought would come together. And you end up realizing how much more you actually have than you thought. And that goes back to my last video that I made about overconsumption and debt. This really just helps you to truly work with what you've got, and you get way more cost per wear out of everything in your closet. When in doubt, think of it like this: am I simply wearing this, or have I actually styled this in a way that I would like? Also, when in doubt, check Pinterest. Pinterest has a bunch of ideas on how to put certain things together based on what is already in your closet. You don't have to go out and buy anything else. I'm all about being a cost efficient here, and the best way to do so is to know what you have and work with what you have versus going out and getting more and more. You just need to figure out how to work with what you have. So I hope these tips were helpful, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.